Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmina from Jasmina Brozovic Astrology. Today I'm here to talk about the upcoming full moon in Gemini. This is very personal for me, so I might share my chart as well today. We'll see. Thank you for joining. Whoever joined, this is impromptu. I didn't plan to do this. I didn't. I just have some time today, so I kind of am here. As always, please, if you find this information useful, like, share, subscribe to my channel to spread the world of astrology, and let me know in the comments how is this affecting you. Do you have any questions, concerns? Are you interested in something? Share your thoughts with me. I'm always open to a dialogue, which will be a topic for this full moon. Before I start talking about this particular full moon, I always like to talk about archetype of what is going on, what kind of moon we are having. Okay, so moon in Gemini, it's actually the moon that I have in my natal chart, so I'm kind of familiar with the moon in Gemini. There's a strong need to tell your story, to be heard. To speak and to be honest, we don't, we get a tendency of, Geminis, people think that they're talking too much and blah blah blah. The thing is that we kind of need a safe space to share our thoughts and ideas. That's how we feel nurtured. So that's why we talk. And we want somebody to listen. That's how we feel loved and nurtured. This is the space that we kind of feel most comfortable in. So give us a little bit of break sometimes. We, I it's every sign. There's always like a lower and higher frequency of everything. I have a tendency to, as is from experience, to tell you that with experience we can be very good listeners as well. So it's about dialogue, it's about communication, it's about talking to somebody, sharing ideas. So when the full moon is, remember, so full moon is when the sun and the moon are in opposite signs. So we have sun in the Sagittarius opposing this moon in Gemini. It's a mental axis. We always want to look one side as a reflection of the other. This is how we're going to learn the archetypes and the best, right? So Sagittarius has this big picture, has wisdom, wants to experience things firsthand, likes adventure, doesn't like commitment. He's the traveler, the explorer, the seeker, with strong sense of truth and a belief system. On the other hand, Gemini is about connected with local people, of gathering information, gathering into data, finding things. That's why a lot of Gemini energy, they're usually journalists, right? Because they like to gather data, information, and tell that story. Oh, look what I found, the misconception, and of course the lower frequency is, gossip and spreading the bad word. But in a good sense, it's actually a great to have one of the Gemini people around you, because they kind of are in tune what's going on. They know. If they don't know, they will know somebody who knows somebody. So if you're missing an information or need that source or what is happening here, Gemini energy really can help you. Because of this mental, so we have this big picture, the vision, the understanding, finding the deeper meaning in Sagittarius, but also gathering facts and data and information in the sign of Gemini. So they are connected. The one cannot exist with the other, right? So Sagittarius needs that information to learn from, right? And Gemini needs to share the story as well. So this is all about. So when we have these full moons in Gemini, the sun is shining the light on moon, which means our intimate thoughts, our ideas, our communication, how we express ourselves. It's kind of the light is shining on it. So it's time for you to speak. That's why I call this full moon spill the tea, in a good sense, right? I'm trying to be a little bit provocative, but it is time to spill the tea. It is time to say what's in your mind. It is time to speak up. And this full moon is all about that. Okay. Moon in Gemini is curious. Moon in Gemini is intriguing in a way because he likes to find information. What specifically is happening for this full moon is that it's ruled by Mercury in Scorpio. So Mercury in Scorpio is a detective, it's an investigator, it's a forensic. And he is driving this curiosity. He's going to go in hidden places to find data and information. He's going to go into the caves, into the depths of human psychology to find the information. And when he finds it, for this full moon, we're going to say it. So we're not going to keep the information. Usually Mercury in Scorpio keeps kind of information for itself to use it at the best possible time, but now it's the time. So because it was retrograde, so Mercury was retrograde literally until today, and for this lunation that is happening on December 4th at 13 degrees and 4 minutes Gemini, around 6:14 p.m. Eastern time. So at the moment, the Mercury is direct, but he's gonna all the data that he found and collected, and all the ideas and thoughts that he had during the retrograde period, he's gonna say it now. So this full moon is definitely gonna we're gonna see what was happening during the Mercury retrograde. He is in his shadow until December 16th, but I think this full moon is gonna be the culmination of just watch the news. I think a bunch of stuff we already are seeing. There are hidden things that are coming to the surface, but for this full moon, we're going to be even more seeing those things. Okay. Also think about this full moon is a part of the lunation that happened for the new moon that happened on June 6th, 2024. So events that were happening then might come up today as well. I mean, today or December 4th for this full moon. So you always think about this 9 months increments and larger lunar phase family, how this works. Okay, let me actually share the chart, and I'm going to talk more. I think it's better for you to see it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this, now this. Okay, excellent. I hope you see this. So this is the chart of the full moon. You can see the moon is at 13 degrees and 3 minutes of Gemini, and the sun is 13 minutes and 3 of Sagittarius. They're opposite each other. I use the Aries 0-point chart, so please disregard the houses. This is just a general world chart for the world. You can always set it up for your local space where you are and see how this will affect you, or you can compare it to your own chart and see how that reflects as well. Interesting things. So first of all, the most interesting thing with this full moon that is happening now is that it's squaring the nodes. So we have this grand cross. See, 13. The nodes are exactly 13:43, 13:40. So like 40 minutes apart. We have this grand cross between the nodes. So planets that are squaring the nodes in evolutionary astrology, they're on the bendings, like a skip steps. So in the natal charts. Oh, hi, Argentum. Hi, oops. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your cooking. I love that. Thank you for being here. So I think the events that are coming here they're going to have a sense that they are destined or fated, right? Because of the squaring of the nodes, just in a collective mind. So I'm just curious what's going to happen to me, because this is literally happening on my sun. I have sun 1343. Like the nodes are squaring my sun exactly, and the moon is there. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to me. But it's about having clear, open communications, because we are kind of we are not going to able to hide behind somebody else or behind somebody else's philosophies or ideas. We're going to have to step up and speak our own truth, and tell it as it is. As I mentioned before, Mercury is the ruler. Mercury is now direct. It's opposing Uranus, so there still might be some shocking revelations. There might still be some unexpected things that are come to the surface, but we need to say it. We definitely need to say it. It's about telling the truth. It's about telling what's on your mind. It's about speaking up. It's about uh, uh, going into those categories that we usually don't talk about. Like Scorpio is about taboo topics, so we're gonna talk. We're gonna, we can talk about everything this time, even the taboo topics. Okay, you know, this is connected with finances, with sex, with scandals. We can see everything in the news what is already going on, right? But I think this full moon will really, really show what this Mercury, when he was retrograde, what did he find out, what was happening behind the scenes, and it's coming to the surface. It's going to shake us up. It's about open communication. Gemini's have a great capacity to understand the both sides of the story. They're very, like, they're mercurial types. Mercury is neutral in astrology. It doesn't have a polarity like a yin or a yang energy. It's kind of neutral. So that means it can be objective, and it can understand both sides of the stories. It can always see the other side, what these people think. Oh, what do the other people think? So in that sense, we are going to say it as it is, just because we feel we have to. There's no you're not going to be impartial, to one side or the other. Interesting thing is that this moon is also trining Pallas Athena in Aquarius. So I did a study between Mercury and Pallas, and I find they're both very similar because they're both very objective. They're neutral. It show us that they're showing us the strategic thinking and the strategic intelligence which we can use. So Scorpio is also very strategic, ruling this moon. So I think that whatever we are going to say, we're going to have a great way of saying it. We're gonna have we're gonna think what strategy to use. Okay, it's funny that because Pallas is an Aquarius, so Aquarius and Gemini are both air signs. They're the thinkers. They're the ones who are very lean on intelligence, on knowledge, on scientific proof, on information, on data to make a decision. This is highly strategic, intelligent way of doing things for this full moon. Um, uh, I don't know. There's some kind of integrating our ideas and thoughts into the world, communicating it with others in a great way. I would highly recommend that you have open mind when you converse with others. Sagittarius can be kind of stuck in their own ideals and beliefs sometimes, but this Gemini is going to shake them up and tell them, look, you are the one who is exploring. So let's explore the other option. Let's see where we can go. Let's see how far we can get with this information. I think this is a great opportunity for all of us to find a way to tell what's on our mind in a written form, in an oral form, one-on-one, in groups, in by any way, anyhow. So I think this full moon is actually a great full moon. Uh, Another thing I wanted to mention is a Sabian symbol. A Sabian symbol for 13 degrees Geminis is a conversation by telepathy. So there's another way of communicating as well, which is interesting, right? Trusting your intuition. Tune in to others equally advanced ones. So find, I think this Pallas in Aquarius is also helping us to find same-minded people that we feel like it's a safe space to speak up. And we're gonna elevate to another conscious level if we are open to it. That's a kind of a possibility. It's a transcendent connection to a higher level of consciousness, not ordinary technique, and not ordinary techniques can be accessed at will. So that means we can go beyond what we know already. We are kind of already shaken up with this AI and Pluto in Aquarius, and we had a sense of Uranus in Gemini. So there we already are in tune in the future, in innovative thinking, in a thinking outside of the box. So this is all here in this lunation. Mercury as a ruler is part of this grand water trine. See, he's trining Saturn here in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. So we have this grand water trine. So that means we can have a capacity to speak to our intuition in a way, to get in tune more easily with our intuitive part of us. What is our intuitive voice telling us? That's another conversation we can have here, right? Um, Interesting. I don't know. I just feel that there's a connection between um, intuition and our mental capacities, and I think we can level up our mental capacities and dig deeper into unconscious and bring something to consciousness that we were not aware of before. So that's what I had for and using some new strategies, some innovative strategies and techniques to tell what we have on our minds. In all the forms that you can imagine, Geminis can talk. It can be also a mime, you know. There's unverbal conversations that Gemini, because Geminis love movements, they like doing things with their hands. So you can even speak up. It's like a learning a new language or speaking in a silent language as well. So all these things, I feel that this is an endless possibility to tell in whatever capacity you have around you, to tell your truth, to tell your story. And people want to know. People love other people's stories. Sagittarius is also a storyteller, right? So there is a huge emphasis on of using new techniques to speak up your story. I think this is going to be a very nice full moon. I think we need one after a lot of intensity that we had in the previous months. This is something to broaden our horizons, to put us in a different sphere, in a different realm. We can learn something new. Maybe we're going to find some piece of information or some knowledge that can really elevate us, and bring us closer to where we need to go, and to explore the unknown as well. um, I'm really in tune with this full moon. I know it's connected with my chart, maybe that's why, but I'm kind of really feeling it. um, Rudyard, the famous astrologer, he also talked about the Sabian symbol. So he said, bringing um, what he said, bringing this space to a social. Okay, so a conversation by telepathy is like bringing this to another social dimension. Okay, so having that as another thing, and with this trines with Uranus and Pluto and what we're having ahead of us in the next few years, I think we're gonna tune in into the telepathy word very soon, and we're gonna find a ways how to use it more efficiently. And I think this is a great opportunity to start. I don't know. That's what all the full moons are usually something that we want to release the energy, something that is kind of a closure. Um, I think it's a closure of the old way of thinking, and we are bringing the new way of thinking here. I think it's the old way of communicating, bringing new ways of communicating. It's about getting rid of prejudice, of being so opinionated and judgmental of others, and being more open-minded. So we are letting go of all these things that are not longer working with us in that sense. Um, there's a lot of mutable water energy in this chart, so like a more of Piscean energy, which tells me that we are very in tune with our inner gut and feeling and listening to it. Those messages we need to hear and say it. Um, it's not the most grounded full moon, so it's not about tangible things and material things this time. This is more about our mental capacity and how we are challenging ourselves, um, um, to tell what we need to tell, because sometimes it's hard to speak up. We don't, there's many different reasons why don't we tell our story and tell our truth. Either we don't feel safe in the surroundings, in the environment that we are. We feel that we have nothing to say. There's so many different things, but it's time to speak up. And I think what we learned in the last couple of months, um, it's going to come one way or the other outside. If you cannot verbally say it, write it down, act it. You can act, you can draw it. There's artistic expression as well. There's, as I said, Mercury is in a grand water trine, so you can express yourself through art, through other creative projects. It doesn't have to be the spoken word. It can be the written word. It can be the silent language. It can be unverbal communication. It could be a mime. How mimes communicate with facial expressions. There's so many possibilities, and Gemini is so versatile. Gemini moon is very rational, very logical. You can say it through puzzles, right? I'm thinking about giving a message through some kind of a code, right? Because there's ruled by Mercury in Scorpio. You know how that you have to decode sometimes. As a kid, you learn this, A is 1, B is 2, and then you make words through numbers and stuff like that. So some secret codes, Morse's code, right? There's so many different ways that you can communicate. I think secret codes are going to be maybe a way to do it, or just have fun. I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways we can, through puzzles and mystery, and think about outside of the box. As I mentioned, Pallas Athena is trining the moon, so you have to think outside of the box. It's a new, innovative, futuristic ways of expressing yourself. I think that's why it's very hard for me to say it what I mean, because it's something new that you will come up with, okay, and that you're gonna feel that you can do it. There's a lot of fire here as well in the sky, which means we are inspired, we are motivated, we have an urge to say it. There's some action, we are more proactive, we are more assertive. And I love it. I love this full moon. I just think it's excellent. Oh yeah, what I wanted to mention. So remember I said that this full moon is squaring the nodes in a grand cross, because this new moon is related to the new moon that happened on the 6th of June 2024. For that new moon, Venus was conjunct the new moon. So Venus was in Gemini, closely conjunct, and all of them were sextiling the nodes. Now they're squaring. So now, whatever the opportunity that arises back then, now it's time to act on it, because a square is act. Okay, so that's I wanted to mention that. I think that's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for this. I'm going to go through all the signs one by one, and to give some insights on how can you apply this to yourself. I will talk about, so I usually, if you know your rising sign, it's the best way to do it, but it also can apply to your moon and sun sign as well. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, okay, let me stop sharing this, and so many things always stop sharing this. I'm going to bring this here again, share this, share that. Okay, there you go, my wheel. I love my wheel. Okay, and I'm going to use some oracle cards as well for each sign. I think I always like to do that. It's very cool. I like to combine astrology with oracle cards, like a hidden message, like an additional message to everything, right? Okay, so for you Aries risings, let's jump right into. So the moon is in Gemini, the sun is Sagittarius. I want to mention something else. Mars is Sagittarius here as well. Mars is out of bounds, and Mars is going to be out of bounds for the entire month of December. Out of bounds planets, that means that they are not in a, they are kind of, if you imagine you live in a world, in a kingdom where the sun is the king and the ruler of that, and there's some regulations and stuff, and planets who are out of bounds are the ones who escaped the kingdom and they are wild. They're not obeying the rules. They're not they're not connected with the other part of their kingdom. So Mars here is out of bounds, and he's your ruler. So that means you are going to feel more wild, more free, more uncontrolled. So it's like having lack of control. Like you cannot control yourself. You just want to do it. And because Mars is in Sagittarius, that means he's already kind of very adventurous. He wants to go places, he wants to see places. He's already on a train. He doesn't have time to say goodbye when he leaves. So you are definitely more keen on spilling the tea. It's spill the tea, not split the tea. I think anyway, spill the tea. So you are definitely spilling the tea here because the moon is in your third house of communication. And Mars and Sun are together in the ninth house. So there is definitely a need to explore, to learn, to go beyond. Is also to tell your truth. The ninth house is the house of divinity in a sense. It's your connection to religion, to your belief system, to your philosophies. It is about knowing more and finding the meaning of life. So I think you're going to say it. You are more keen to say it anyway, but with this Mars out of bounds and with the moon in your third house, you are definitely going to speak up and you won't have any issues with it. And I highly support it. I highly support it because, it's just think what I said about it before. Think how you can, how can you say it? Try to find some new ways of saying it. You're an Aries. You always like to explore the unknown in a way, right? You're the ones who are trying the new things first. So find a way to kind of say what you want and share your thoughts and ideas in a new way. Okay, it's definitely on a more tangible level a great opportunity for letting go of old belief system, letting go of old way of thinking, letting go of some things that not really suit you, and try to think about what you want to let go, what you want to release, and what you want to start. It's about start doing a Substack or a blog or whatever, do a newsletter. Do you want to just go to your local community and share your thoughts? I don't know, maybe you want to do something locally, which is highly recommended in your local community centers. Maybe you want to organize something as people that are the same minded, like-minded like you. Maybe you want to gather them around, and maybe you as a group want to share your thoughts and ideas. I like it. So also, the thing is that the third house is also about your siblings. So this can be about your siblings. So everything that I said, it can be something happening in your with your siblings. There is maybe some conversations. I highly recommend open communications with your neighbors and siblings. Don't be don't be afraid. Go places where you wouldn't usually go, and have those hard conversations. They can help you be more productive. Okay, so if we are brave enough to talk about it, we're going to have some good results out of it. Okay, so that's another thing that I highly recommend. Sometimes we avoid and we go, oh, later or not now, or it's not the time. Now is the time. So talk to your neighbors if you have issues. Talk to your siblings, to cousins, your extended family. So your aunts, uncles, everybody's involved in this. So speak up. Also, the third house is about contracts. So if you have anything going on, if you're maybe buying a vehicle or some transportation device, or if you're signing some kind of contract, say it. Just put everything in it. Don't be afraid. And I think it's going to change your world because it's connected to the other. So I think resolving your situation with your community, with your surroundings, it's going to open up new possibilities in the world for you. Okay, so that's for you, Aries. Let me pull a card for you. Okay, let's do this. Ooh, I pulled Scorpio, Alchemist. So interesting, because Mercury in Scorpio is ruling this moon. So maybe there are some family secrets, or not just family, but I mean, especially with siblings or neighbors, or maybe even some people who you went to school with. So remember, third house is also about your high school peers, your elementary school, middle school peers. So maybe, you have a school reunion, like, oh, 25 years since, since graduation, if you have some graduation things happening. So maybe somebody will contact you from the past, from those years, and you will hear some secret stories. As I mentioned, Mercury in Scorpio is a detective, is a forensic. He goes deep in the dark places. See, and maybe this new information that you get will shape your future in a way. Maybe you're going to change something that you believed in before. Because remember, every new things that we learn can change our opinion, and that it's okay. That is absolutely okay. Every new knowledge, we're allowed to change our opinion based on it. So there is some kind of maybe for you, Aries, this will have involve some hidden truths or some secrets coming up to light. There you go. Okay. Okay. Taurus. Okay. So Venus is also in Sagittarius for this. Yeah, she goes into Sagittarius tomorrow, right? Yeah, so it's interesting. So you as well as Aries rising have your ruler in Sagittarius with the sun. How interesting is that? That also tells me, excuse me, it also tells me that you are, although you like stability and security and you don't like to change things, this also suggests that you might be more keen, more keen to go places that you wouldn't go before. Venus in Sagittarius is very fun Venus. She loves to dance, she loves to sing, she loves to have fun, she loves to go out with friends for drinks. She's like she likes to go to local pubs. She loves to connect with people from all around the world. She finds pleasure in connecting, in learning about other people, experimenting in a way. And because she's now in your eighth house along with the sun, so the sun and Venus together, you're going to be maybe more popular in one way or another, which is interesting. But it's very hidden. It's eighth house, and maybe this comes in some kind of phase of money or some kind of other possessions and property values. Okay, because the moon is in the second house, so you might find that some of your investments paid off. Venus is also ruling finances in general, so this is definitely connected with your money, your possessions, your property, your skills and talents. It's about your values, your self value as well. So and because I said you have an open conversation, maybe you need to have an open conversations about the money or the finances or whatever is happening. Maybe you're in debt, maybe you're not, maybe you are receiving some extra money, whatever it is. Have an open conversation, because the eighth house also represents the money from your partnerships here, romantic and business and clientele. So maybe there is something that you need to discuss with people you work with or your romantic partners about your finances. Maybe something was bothering you, maybe because the way how they spend money, maybe you think they are overspending them. So you have to say it. You have to speak up your truth about what you think about money. What do you feel? How do you feel that this needs to be resolved? If you have any issues with your clients, tell them. You just need to tell them, look, this is, if you have some issues with anybody not understanding your value system, or you need to speak it clearly. You need to tell exactly. It can be very productive. Tell others what your values are, what you value, what you desire, and say what you want. Basically, in English speaking word, say what you want. don't be afraid to talk about taboo topics and things that you usually don't like to talk about. Things can get a little bit uncomfortable, but I think it's going to be a good thing for your Taurus. Okay. You need to tell people, otherwise they're always gonna you're gonna feel used, and that that somebody is taking all your money. I know you kind of are very you know how to deal with money. You know how to deal with budgets. You know how to deal with other things. So don't be afraid to say it, why you do it, and why is this important that people respect how you deal with money. Okay, so let me see what I put for you. Mercury. There you go. Express. You need to express it. As I mentioned, Mercury is in Scorpio ruling this moon in your seventh house. So I think it's definitely connected with your partnerships, romantic and business partnerships, and clientele, that you speak up. You need to tell them what you want, what you desire. This is the only way you're going to get it. They're not going to read your mind. They're not going to assume. Don't lean on assumptions. Lean on conversing it. If you cannot say it, write it down. Write a message. So uh, this is very important. It's very important to kind of step out of your comfort zone sometimes and tell the people what you want. Okay. Good job. Okay. Geminis. Okay, so Gemini, this is definitely more closely. So this is the Mercury's here. So for all Geminis, this is once in a year full moon. This one is very personal. So the sun is going to shine a light on you. So how you approach life. So just say it. Say who you are. You need to be very authentic here. Don't use other people's words. Don't use other people's ideas. You need to use your words, your ideas, your thoughts. You need to showcase yourself as who you are. I know you can really adapt. You're very flexible. You kind of sometimes, because you're a great impressive people who impersonate others, right? So I don't know how to say it. Anyway, so you can take over others. You know how Geminis, they pick up accents very fast. They learn languages very fast. You sometimes go to that mode that you just pick up somebody else's ideas and thoughts and then present them as yours. That's not gonna work this time. You need to be honest about what is your thought and what did you take from other people. What do you have to say, and so be very, very careful not to, it's very important for this, to showcase yourself, to be authentic, and to showcase yourself in a real life. Okay, the sun is coming, so there's a you're gonna the projection is coming from the partnerships, right? So other people will probably tell you, you're gonna see through communication and through interactions with others. You're gonna see how you can change your approach. How can you be what type of communication technique you can use to actually express yourself so you are seen and heard. Okay, other people will tell you. So it's going to be like a reflection through others. Mercury is in Scorpio, the sixth house. So you have to be very specific when you say something. Lean on intuition, because Mercury is in a part of its grand trine, and details. It's very important. Use discernment. Be careful, because you are a collector of information and data. Your brain is overloaded anyway. You can be overwhelmed with all of this. Use your discernment. Mercury is in the sixth house of Virgo. It's in Scorpio, so you're going to have this detective head on your head anyway. You're going to feel that you are finding the truths, but analyze it. The key word here is to analyze everything, to process better, to say it correctly. Okay, so use this Virgo Mercury kind of a scale with this, as long as you, and also think about whatever you're saying. Is it of service to someone? Don't just say it because you heard it. You just need to say it. Use your discernment. Who needs to hear it? Why do they need to hear it? Why now, not later? So Be very analytical in your approach, how you say what you need to say this time. Okay, especially in the one-on-one relationships, I think they're going to be most impacted. So make sure that you have your ducks in a row. Okay, and to be your true authentic self. Okay, let's see what I pulled for you guys. Trine, ease, excellent. As I mentioned, Mercury is in a grand water trine. So that means also you can use your intuition. This tells me that you're going to communicate with ease and flow if you lean on your intuition. And don't overthink it, don't overanalyze it, because it's also, don't be overly critical of what you have to say. You need to kind of, there's an ease of water, right? It's flows. Think about the flow of thoughts, what easily goes. If you get stuck, it's probably not the right way to go, right? So there's some kind of I like this for you. I think it's very, look at those dolphins there dancing, the three of them in the water, and dance. I love this. Yeah, you can also showcase what you need to tell through movement, because that's also a way of communication as well. I like this. Okay, Gemini's, good luck. Cancers. Okay, so as I always say, every lunation for Cancers is special because they're ruled by the moon. This time the moon is in the 12th house. It's hidden. It's hidden. So I think your dreams are going to be vivid. Remember, Mercury is a ruler in the grand trine with Jupiter and Saturn. You're going to have such a vivid dream. So write down, make a dream journal. There's hidden messages in your dreams. Absolutely. Mercury in Scorpio is ruling this moon. Hidden messages from your dreams. There is something. There is something happening with this. With the moon is in the 12th house. It's you're finding comfort in speaking to yourself. I know it sounds funny, but spending some time with yourself, with your thoughts, go back through your journals, go back through your notes, go through spend some time with yourself and your thoughts. I think the reflection of what you want to say, I think it's gonna clear. It's gonna be more clear, and then you can say it. I think. I think you will find some good ideas in spending some time alone. Um, Actually, it's going to be good for your health as well. I feel, for your mental health, to kind of don't get into any kind of discussions and arguments, and just say, I need to, just retreat, the really Cancerian way. Just retreat, and talk later after this full moon is over. I think for you, although I said to everybody to speak up, I think you just need to clear your thoughts before you speak up, Cancers, because but it's still going to be in a good way. This full moon, it doesn't have any hard aspect. It's squaring the nodes. Remember, that's what I said. So everything that we do at around this time, it will have this fated feeling. The sun is in the 6th house. It is about about your everyday thing as well. But I definitely feel that you need to get in tune with your own thought process, how your mind and your own thought process, how you process information. And um, it's very important that we do not, during all of these situations, we are so overloaded with the news, with who says what, and it really affects your mood, right? So having the clarity of thought is in solitude, and then you can use discernment from the 6th house sun to take what you feel. Remember, intuition is very, very important. What you feel that it's good for you. Okay, so take that as a consideration. It's interesting that I pulled the 10th house for your recognition. um, the 10th house of recognition is the house of how people see us in the outside world, how we present ourselves, how we advertise ourselves, how we promote ourselves, how we market ourselves. And maybe if your message is not clear, then your marketing is also not clear. You know how we get mixed messages sometimes to other world. So maybe this is a great opportunity for you to clear your thoughts and ideas, so so you can tell them when the time comes, you can be recognized for your success. Because you sometimes, because you are so caring and nurturing, you maybe do things for other people, and at the end, you don't get the right recognition that you deserve. So maybe this time in solitude and in taking notes and making notes in your diary can actually give you some clarity, so you can speak up and be finally recognized for your accomplishments. Okay, so that's the message I'm getting for you, Cancer risings. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. It's like more introspective dialogue before you go to the outer world and say it out loud. Leos. Leos. Okay, ruled by the sun. I love Cancer Leo energy. So this is very interesting because your ruler is in the fifth house. So you are definitely feeling more of you, who you are, right? The sun is, that's why Leos and Sagittarius is such a great energy, and they always overlap in many ways, because um, Leos love when the sun is in Sagittarius. They feel more creative. They feel more in tune um, with their creative expression. They have more fun. They laugh more. Then they dance more. It's time to perform. It's time to do all these things. The moon is in the 11th house, so maybe shining, showcasing yourself within groups. You know. I had a great conversation with Liz yesterday about the nodal shift when the nodes go to Aquarius and Leo. So listen to that. I can tell you a lot about who you are as well, and who you are as a unique individual, and who you are within a group. And that is that Leo Aquarius axis, which is here very showcased, right? Um, it's, I think you need to speak up within your groups and communications if you're not happy with things. Okay, I think you need to tell, you need to tell them what don't ask for validation per se, but um, ask for acknowledgement. Okay, they need to acknowledge you. So don't be shy. Say, whatever with your friends. um, if something is bothering you, say it. You don't have to be dramatic. Remember, I told you the moon is trining Pallas Athena in Aquarius, so we have to use a new innovative way of expressing ourselves. So how can you talk to your friends, your groups and communities in a new way, right? How can you say it differently, that it's not so dramatic, maybe? Or how can you say it more creatively, right? Sun is in the fifth house. Use your creativity to speak up. Okay, there's so many different creative things that you can say things. You can, you know. Anyway, so this is about friendships at the end, and finding same-minded people. Remember, this moon is creating the nodes. Something faded is happening. So maybe there is something happening within your organizations and group that you are a part of. Maybe it's time to step up and become a leader of one. Or wait, maybe you will get recognized and become, somebody within your organization that you always were seeking for, right? Full moons are usually when we are recognized for something, or this is happening in your 11th house. So I think this is a beautiful full moon. Mercury, remember, is Scorpio, so maybe there was something happening behind the scenes that you were not aware of, and now you're gonna hear it. It's gonna be good for you. Like, people were like preparing you a surprise party, let's say, right? And then you're gonna kind of have, you have a party, for whatever reason. So that's kind of a feeling that I'm getting for you, Leos, that you are going to be pleasantly surprised. Don't be afraid to express yourself, to say it. Even spill the tea if you need to, and maybe it's time to let go of some things, because sometimes full moons indicate that we need to remove ourselves from some kind of groups that are not longer aligned with our philosophies and beliefs, which Sagittarius represents. So that's another option that can also go that way. Okay. I pulled seventh house partnerships. Interesting. So being a part of an organization, being a part of a community, being a part of a friendship is also some kind of partnership, right? So are you partnering with the right people? Are you happy who you partner with? Do you want to change something, right? Do you want to remove some people from your life? Do you want to add somebody? Say it. Say it. Just tell. Have an honest, open communication with people that with your friends and whoever you interact in groups and communities. You can definitely, it's time to speak up. And sometimes we are friends with somebody just because, oh, I already invested so much time, or they're not that bad, finding excuses for them. Maybe it's time to let them go. Maybe it's time to find new ones, right? Remember, this is we're talking about a new way of doing things, new way of communicating, new way of finding our tribe. So who you partner with is going to be maybe very important this time. Pallas Athena is in your seventh house of partnerships, trining that moon. So there is some kind of new strategies. People might think you're weird or unusual or whatever, but you need to be yourself, right? And you need to tell how you see things. Don't. I think it's very important. Very important, Leos. I think this is a good full moon for you, one way or the other. I'm kind of happy. Yep. Okay, let's go. Virgos. Okay, Virgos. This is so interesting because I'm going to just, for Virgos, I'm going to do, this is the south node, this is their north node, and we have a grand cross. Oops. Draw lines. Okay, draw lines. I just want to do this for Virgos because it's so interesting. Look at that. So what is happening here is oh my god, this is going to shake up all of it. So because it's in the cardinal houses, right? So as I said, all mutable signs are going to be, it's going to be really important for all mutable signs because it's in your angular houses, is the houses that are most prone to showcase themselves in the outside world. So something is happening with your career, with your family situation, with your partnerships, with you. It's all changing, right? So it's very, very important that you, especially in the outside world, the way people see you, maybe you want to rebrand yourself, maybe you want to say things differently in a new, innovative way. Uh, and I do feel this. Some things that are going to happen here are going to be faded for sure, because this is also coming. This is coming from uh, your roots. So your belief systems, your philosophies that you inherited from your family are reflecting on how you promote yourself in the outside world. This is definitely connected with career. There might be some recognition in your career, in your workplace, in the outside world that you will receive for the hard work you've done. Maybe there's time to also let go of some things, and the most important thing is that you talk, because the Mercury is in Scorpio and it's in the third house. I think it's very important that you tell what's on your mind. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't be overly critical of yourself. You're never going to find the right words if you don't. You just need to kind of start saying it. Because Virgos have a tendency finding the right word, or no, they're over editing everything, and then the point is to you need to focus on what's important, not on the form, but don't focus on the form, focus on the substance. Okay. It doesn't matter if you use comma or a point at this, or exclamation mark or whatever. That's not, because you can get stuck in that before you say a message. You need to say it. You need to say what do you want to achieve? What do you want people to know? How you want to present yourself in the outside world? um, is your message getting to the people you want to hear the message? Who is your audience? Who is your niche audience? Who needs to hear you? Do you feel that they hurt you? How can you change the way you tell your truth, or your mind? How are you gonna, how you present yourself? Do you want to, you probably need to change something. Does this reflect your family situation? It does. This is a huge, like, this is kind of me, and I'm thinking, what am I, what's going to happen? I have no idea. As long as I'm a true believer, because this is the Capricorn house. It's about integrity, it's about sovereignty and being your own authority. And as long as the way you speak is aligned with that, you cannot go wrong. Okay, so that's very important. Maybe you need to realign, and you tell people what it is. Don't be, because you can be very concerned about other people's feelings, about other people's, how they're going to take it. Sometimes you just need to say it. Okay, that's very important. This is fated anyway. I told you this full moon is fated for most of us. Okay, there you go. See, I pulled Jupiter. Expand. So in order to grow, Virgos, first of all, you need to start doing things, because you procrastination or over editing, overly being consumed by details, it won't take you anywhere. I have this problem as well. And thinking, I want to write something, and then I start writing, and how I do it. And I was listening to Frank Clifford's. He had a webinar about writing, how to write things, and the best way, he said, is just to have like a mental diarrhea, or like just verbal mental dump. You need to put everything. And so Virgos in general have a problem with expressing themselves, because they think, oh, what is the best first liner I should use? How what is the best first sentence? And then they got caught up in the first sentence. They don't even start doing anything. So forget about that. Just have a verbal dump, and then you're going to edit later. Okay. In order to expand, Jupiter came up. Expand. Jupiter is in Cancer at the moment, here in the 11th house. But I'm thinking, this energy tells me that if you want to grow in the world, you need to say it. That's basically what it is. Don't overthink it. I think that's the worst enemy of Virgo, is overthinking it, and then they don't do anything. You have all these ideas stuck somewhere, but anyway, that's what I think. Okay, so yes. Good luck. I mean, this can be great for many different things. You can get, as I said, recognition in your career and stuff. So, Libras. Okay, where is the Venus? Venus is here. How lovely is this? I think that definitely Libras are going to get very popular in their local community, within the neighborhood, and they're going to have a lot of attention coming in everyday life, and the way they communicate with people. Okay, this is definitely a time for you to speak up about what you believe in, what you are aligned with. Yeah. Hi, Argentina. Yeah, I know you're Libra rising. Yeah, I'm thinking. I always think about you. How can I help you with this? The moon is in the ninth house. Is the moon who needs to explore, needs to expand. It feels safe and secure in finding the deeper meaning. So, because Libra risings, you often can agree with others because of what you want to be liked. You are avoiding conflict, and then you don't speak up, right? So I highly encourage you that if you want to attract the right people in your life who are going to be in line with your belief system, aligned with your philosophies, you need to say what they are. Because if you agree with everybody all the time, people will not know who you really are, and you're never going to be really, really happy. So this is all about that. Okay. If you feel that you need to maybe go back to school to get a certificate, or if you feel that you need to travel to find out what your belief is, maybe you need to expand your mind, explore more things in the world to understand it, then do it. Make it happen. Okay. And I was just thinking, say it in all the languages that you need to say it, because the moon is in the ninth house. If you're bilingual or something else, just say it in all the languages that you know. Write a memo in different languages. And I'm kidding, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because if you wanna be good with everybody in the world, you need to kind of understand their language. But then, the only thing you really need to do is to be good with yourself and aligned with yourself. Venus is also in the third house here, right? So as your ruler with the sun. So I think people are more keen to listen to you and to hear what you have to say now. You're going to be popular, whatever, okay? And you always like to be liked. So I think you're going to be liked anyway. So because you are liked anyway, you want to be liked, this is a great time, because people are going to like you more, which means that you can say it. They will not take it wrongly. Okay, this is a beautiful. Gemini is open-minded. Gemini energy is understanding. That you might, it's kind of realizing. Although I don't have to have the same beliefs as you, or although we are not on the same page on this topic, we can still be friends. We can still be in a relationships. We can still be, good. That's the idea here, Libra. So think about that, understanding that although you don't have to agree with everybody and everything to be liked, so say it as it is. Say what I think you have. Venus in Sag helping you for people to hear you better, to understand you better, and to communicate in a more charming way. I think you're going to be, people are going to love this. So this is a great opportunity to actually say it. Look, learn. Remember strategic thinking. I mentioned before. Palace in um, is in Aquarius, in your fifth house of creativity. Find a new creative ways of expressing yourself in a charming way for people to understand you, and to say no. For example, okay, I don't agree with you. Let's agree to disagree. Or, although I don't agree with you on this topic, we have all these other things in common that connects us as well, right? Just say it. It's important that you say it. And you have Venus in the third house helping you here, okay? And I love this. I pulled the sixth house, daily operation. So that means that you need to practice it every day after the full moon. So when you finally get the courage to say your true, what you really, really mean, uh, um, without other, kind of pleasing others, then you have to do it every day for the rest of your life as a routine. Okay, so practice. Find the daily situations that you can practice. Go to your local, when you go to grocery shopping, or when you go somewhere, somewhere locally, because Sun and Venus are in the third house. Just practice. Find somebody go into conversation with somebody in the grocery store, and they say something, oh, this is nice, and you say, oh, I don't think so. Just go practice it on daily. I think this is going to how you can become an expert on being loved for who you really are. Okay, I love it. This is a great opportunity. I love these full moons. I'm just all the spins that I have here are good, because I don't see anything bad at this full moon, and I think it's a great way for us, for all of us, to showcase who we are and express ourselves. So good luck, Libras. Scorpio rising. So Mars. Oh, so just like Aries rising. Let me take a sip of my tea. Okay. Just like Aries risings, for Scorpio risings, the ruler Mars, the traditional ruler Mars, is in Sagittarius, and it's out of bounds. So remember what I said, it's out of bounds. It's a wild Mars. It's escaped from the kingdom, and the king doesn't have a rulership over that Mars anymore. So it's in the second house. This is also a money house. So I'm just thinking, because Sun is there, Mars is there, a little bit wild. I do feel that you might overspend. I feel that you might overspend yourself. The moon is in the eighth house. You're feeling kind of confident about finances. It's also about reorganizing. So Mars is action. So think about how can you reorganize your finances? How can you there's maybe some new way of investing, maybe a new way of saving, maybe new way of what you value and what you know, maybe you find that some of the things that you valued before are no longer there. Maybe you want to find a new property, a new possession that you wanted. Maybe you're going to find a good deal. Um, um, because Mercury is in Scorpio in the first house. So I think your mind and how you process information is going to be very investigative, very detective like. So I think you're going to have an eye for detail and to finding patterns. Okay, so I think that finding maybe some new pattern recognition that you can use. Moon is in the eighth house, so that also means that your partner's money, there's some light, maybe there's something happening that you need to speak up about your partner's money, business, romantic, as well. I'm just not happy with this Mars out of bounds in your second house. It tells me that you can go wild, and um, we can express ourselves in the different ways, right? So buying a piece of clothing or a piece of something is also giving a statement. Okay, so that's another thing. This is out of the side, out of the box thinking and strategies. So not doesn't have to be verbal or written, or you can also give a statement by what you wear, some kind of symbols. Remember, but like having a new tattoo. You know, you could put some new tattoo, and it's also telling a story. So there's so many ways, and because you are Scorpio rising, you might not necessarily say it, but you might want to do it differently. So I'm actually, because the second house is a body, I think many of you might think about getting a tattoo, or expressing yourself in a in some kind of statements that are through material objects. Okay, like someone, you see somebody, how they're dressed, how they look, and you already have an impression, oh, what their status is in the society. So I think this is going to be very prominent for you, that you're going to communicate who you are and what's happening through those kind of symbols, society symbols. Okay, that's what I really feel for you. So maybe you are thinking of converting your message through that. It's a great opportunity for any type of getting money from other people, or just rewriting maybe your will, or as I said, your portfolio, maybe you contact a financial advisor or somebody who is dealing with your finances. I think this is be very, very, very highlighted in. Just be very careful with this Mars out of bounds. It's going to be out of bounds the entire December. So that means that you're going to feel like more out of control. So that's the only thing. So don't do anything you're going to regret saying or doing later after New Year's. Okay. Okay. I pulled Sagittarius for you, Seeker. So I think I love that, because Mars as your ruler is in Sagittarius. So I think you are seeking for something different. You are looking for something beyond what you know. I think that the finding the meaning, to find the meaning of what you value, your worth, what is happening, is gonna go beyond what you know so far. So I think you're gonna definitely step into the unknown. You are willing to do so. You're not afraid to dig deeper. You're not afraid to go somewhere that you've never been before, to find what you're looking for, and to say it, and also to say it. So Sagittarius is a storyteller. So tell your story. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. I mean, you're not. So, you know, sometimes you're just so private in so many ways. And because the moon is now in the eighth house, in Scorpio, private house, you might be more keen to open up. And I like that. And with the Mars out of bounds, you're gonna have a tendency to open up more easily to others, and to show your vulnerability, which will help you make having deeper connections that you seek for. That's what I think as well. Good job, Scorpios. Sagittarius. This is it. This is it, guys. Where's Jupiter? Jupiter is here. Okay. This is your full moon. So you and Gemini are definitely highlighted here. Mutable signs. Remember, these are the nodes. The nodes are here in your, in your angular houses. Oh yeah. Let's see what Argentum say before I start. This is a interesting big problem for me as a Sag, Sun, and Moon with Libra. I'm super private, but to move forward, I need to be less. Yes. See? Interesting, huh? Yeah. Be less private. Yeah. Say it as it is. Sagittarius. You are the star of this month. You are the star of this full moon as well. You are definitely with the sun in your first house. You're feeling more confident. You are feeling more optimistic. I like that Jupiter, your ruler, is part of this big trine, water trine here, which means that you are definitely more, and it's in the eighth house. I think you're more in tune into the realm of esoteric, of the hidden, and I think you're gonna face some hidden things, uh, some secrets, and I think you're more ready to face them. Usually, when sometimes like this happens, um, you're not gonna, Sagittarius are, they're not gonna stick for the uncomfortable things, right? They're gonna run away, and just, anything that is that they need to commit to, or they find they're restricting their freedoms. They usually run away. They don't want to deal with it. They want life to be light and fun and joyful, and just, interesting. And when your ruler is in the eighth house, it just, I think, and the sun is in the first for this season. So I think this is actually stepping to the unknown in a different realm, in a different way. Moon in the seventh house also suggests that your partnerships, remember, always this is reflecting through your partners, speaking up your truth, speaking up what your beliefs, your philosophies are. I think this is going to reflect your entire life, and I think it is the time to say it. Um, if you don't want to be in a relationship, say it. I don't want to be here. If you want to be, say it. I want to be here, or say it. I want you to be more adventurous. I want you to, to go around the world with me, or I don't want you to be, or whatever you want to say it. I think you are kind of willing. Um, Mercury is the ruler, is in the 12th house. I think you're willing to go deeper into esoteric and spiritual to find some answers and to communicate them to the people you are involved with, romantically, clientele, or business. So I think your intuition is also going to rise here, and I think that you definitely you're going to showcase the other side of yourself. That's what I'm kind of feeling with you, Sagittarius. I think there's a deeper, side of you. Usually, people think you're just running around, nobody, that you don't care, but it's not. Like, you do have this deeper meaning and connection that you're seeking for with divinity, with, spirituality. So I think what I'm seeing this, because this is Gemini, Gemini two faces in a sense, right? I think you're going to show you your other side of you, people who don't usually know you, the side that people don't see, the hidden side, the other side of Sagittarius. I think this is a great opportunity for people to showcase your other side that not many people can see. It will change your life. I think when you are, if you're brave enough to showcase it, I think it's going to change your life for sure. That's how I kind of see this, with the Mercury in the 12th, with your ruler in the 8th, both of them being in this grand trine. I just feel that there is some kind of something deeper and hidden that is coming to the surface for you. Yes. See, I pulled Descendant, DC. Soul clients and mentors. And I think if you showcase your other side to these people, you're going to get blessings. That's like you have like a hidden blessings coming, you know, from your clients and mentors and people. It's these descendant for your partners. It's interesting that I pulled this. This is opposite of your ascendant, and this is connected with the where the moon is. So recognizing that what you know, the knowledge that you gain from others, recognize it. You know, there's some kind of wisdom you gain from um, interaction with others. Um, that you maybe were not aware of, and it's coming to the surface to your consciousness now. So go think about who were people in your life that you learned from, either mentors or clients, right? Both sides, and see, you know, how can you tell your story. Tell your story through this. Like it also tells me about autobiographies or memoirs or something like that, and you can share with others. That just came to me. I love this. Excellent. You're going to see the other side of Sagittarius. I love it. I love it. Okay, Capricorns, Capricorn risings, moons and suns. Oops, sorry. I have to change everything. Okay, there you go. So, your ruler Saturn is also part of this grand trine with Mercury and Saturn and Jupiter. So, and Sun is in the 12th house. So there is something that also goes beyond. I think you're going to be, you know, you're very oriented on achievement. You're very ambitious. You know, you're thinking about structures and how things are done in the real world. I think you are having an opportunity to have a great conversations with yourself and dive deeper and find some truths, and say them coming from a different, something similar as Sagittarius, but a little bit different. But similar. This is kind of a vibe that I'm getting here. The moon is in the sixth house, so mental health is also very important. How do you take care of your mental health? Do you have enough time for yourself? Moon is about our body as well, but in general, I feel this full moon is about having an open conversations and communications, and being actually being honest to yourself and to the others about how we feel, what we think, what do we want to say. You know, just being frankly honest. And I think you can do it. You as a Capricorn, you can really be honest and tell people as it is. With moon in the sixth house, I do feel that it might be connected with your everyday, like how do you take care of your mental health in every day. That's what I feel with the sun moon here. Are you taking care of it? Also, the sixth house is about you know, people that work for you or people you work with. So tell them what you think. uh, Remember, I mentioned before, I'm going to mention this again. Pallas Athena is trining the moon, so it's about new, innovative, strategic thinking. So maybe there's some kind of, in a work environment, something that is pulling you down, that you need to say it. Saturn is in the third house, so there is a constructive, a formal way that you can express yourself, and with Saturn in the third, I think, you know, for all people who are writing something or they want to express themselves, we need Saturn, because Saturn gives the form to our thoughts. Saturn gives form to our ideas. Saturn manifests our ideas into the real world. So this is something that is highlighted here for you. So you can have an ability to manifest what you want to say in a very constructive way, right? That's what that Saturn is all about as well. Um, but it can be, you know, because Moon is in Gemini, it can be very short, in a short form, very quick. It can be very light. Okay, so it doesn't have to be elaborate. You don't have to write an essay, or you don't have to, you know, to do this in a very formal way. You can do it in a Gemini way, but still get to the point. Like I think this is a very great opportunity for you to say what you want in your everyday life. Like how you communicate in everyday life, um, in a structured way, but in a short sentence. Let's say in a short, in just not saying a lot, like not elaborate things. I wouldn't elaborate things. I would just say it as it's shortly, like this needs to be done, or we need this, like a very concrete way of communication. And say Mercury is in the 11th house, so maybe there's some information coming from your friendships and groups and communities that are going to affect your everyday life. Sun is hidden in the 12th house, which means that you might not feel just confident enough to do it. And I think you're going to maybe like confidence. So use this. Saturn is now direct, so it was retrograde for a long time. Mercury is now direct, so everything that was happening in the last couple of months, that you felt that it was not aligned, or that you felt that you couldn't speak up, or that there were some delays, or there were some kind of restrictions. Now it's time. Now the things are finally moving forward. They're speeding up. So it's now or never kind of a feeling. Just be concise, short, very specific. Just say it. Okay, just say it. Don't make a big deal out of it. Like it's in your everyday house. It needs to be part of everyday life. Okay. Fire. Look at that. Activate. That's what I'm saying. I think you were, with Saturn retrograde, I think you were very kind of more withdrawn and within yourself. I think it's activation is here. This is a fire energy. Sun is in the Sagittarius after all, right? Moon in Gemini, fire, activate. I think you need to find inner passion. Maybe your inner passion was lost, or inner motivation to say what you want, and to express yourself. So I think this is also telling me that your creativity, you need to maybe work on your creativity, or because everything is so formal, maybe to loosen up and do it in a more playful way. That's what I wanted to use. This your communication maybe needs to be in a more playful way, and maybe think about what do you want to do creatively and more playfully. Something that yeah. But I highly recommend open communication, direct communication, um, even with the things that are not pleasant. Say it shortly, okay? Find your inner spark somehow, Capricorns. Very important. Okay, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. I love that. Where is that? I'm going to put Palace here just because I love it. It's in his house. Aquarius risings. Okay. What can I say? First of all, if you wanna, if your creative projects, some of your creative projects that are coming to the light may bring you so much joy, so much happiness, so much fun. Maybe through your kids, or just through your creativity, you might find so many things. You want to definitely creatively express yourself. You want to start writing a book. Maybe there's, it's a full moon. We want to release things that are no longer of use, but we also want to say and shine a light on the things that we do like and enjoy. This is the time you need to say it. What do you like and enjoy? What do you find creative? What do you find fun? What do you want to do about it? In a way, futuristic things. Like think about some innovative scientific projects you want to start. With Saturn in the second, um, I'm trying to find the right word for Aquarius risings to understand me. So Aquarius risings are very, first of all, very intelligent, smart people, that are definitely thinking about the greater good, about humanity in general. They're always thinking, having this thinking about how what they're doing and saying is impacting the society, the humanity, the whole world, not just them. So all this, because Sun is in the 11th house of Aquarius, and this is whatever you want to say, whatever you want to express, it will definitely have an impact on the society. It will, I think you need to say, if you feel that something is wrong, Aquarius is about equality rights. It's about helping the underdogs. It's about rebellion. It's about the system that no longer works. So then you need to say it. You kind of need to say what you stand for, what do you want to change in this world. um, uh, it is kind of aligned with your value system, and this also tells me, walk your talk, or put your money where your mouth is that the expression, right? um, and because you are such a futuristic thinker anyway, this is such a great a full moon for you. It's kind of aligned with your your mental process anyway. Okay. It you know I know so many couples like Sagittarius and Aquarius couples that energy works so well together, because um, they have the ability to expand the world. They have the ability to challenge the status quo and go beyond in different ways. So I love those couples. They're very, very, very great. So this is like an energy with the Sun in Sagittarius for you, that it's um, really when you feel confident in changing the world, using your creative powers. Um, you know, Having the moon in the fifth house, so many ways you can express yourself, in so many ways, right? The fifth house is everything. It's a Leo house, right? It's being yourself, being your unique self, being aligned with your passion and where your heart is. It's very important to speak about your passions, to talk about where your heart is, um, to say how you want to save the world, how you want to, what is, go for it, organize something, say it, whatever, gather people who are the same mind, like-minded like you, and just go and do it. Okay. um, See, I see past experience. So there is some kind of smart that you're going to take from the past. um, Go and look, where you're coming from and where you want to be. Think about the world, the roots, the ancient, how the humanity evolved through history, and where do we want to go next. You are the ones who are going to take us to a next to another dimension, right? I always think about, all these things that are changing, that are coming with Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini. It's so about that Prodigy song, "Out of Space." Take me out of space, to find another race. Yeah, stuff like that. Anyway, so but we cannot go out of space before we know where we're coming from. We always, like, we have a tendency, like everyone, like that I talk to many people, to understand what is your path and where you're headed. You kind of you need to understand where you're coming from. I just had a conversation with my husband yesterday. So many people, I know some people, that are adopted, even though they had a lovely adopted family, they want to know who their biological parents are, because we need to know this. It gives us some kind of sense of understanding who we are and where we need to go. So I think you are the bridge, Aquarius. And this full moon is an opportunity for you to say what you learned and tell us where we came from and where we need to go. Tell us, Aquarius. There you go. This is my, yeah, because I have faith in Aquarius people, that they are bringing the change. They're the one who makes us evolve into better humans anyway. This is the Aquarian energy. Okay. And then Pisces at the end. Pisces, first, Jupiter. Jupiter. Okay. Pisces, with the North Node in your first house, you kind of feel aligned with collective purpose anyway. And this is also going to be impacting you a lot because this is creating the nodes. This is going to have a huge impact on you. um, uh, it's about family. It's about speaking up to your family, telling telling, saying as it is. I need to take a sip to gather my thoughts. Pisces is very hard to grasp sometimes. Pisces has an ability to just quietly do things and sacrifice themselves without saying that it's hard, that they have a hard time. That's the higher of frequency. Lower frequency are victims, victim mentality. Well, let's talk about higher frequency here. So, you're supporting your family, you're kind of aligning with them, you are very adaptable. Yeah. So it's time to actually say really, uh, what you actually, um, who you really are. And why I'm saying this, because Jupiter is in the fifth house as your ruler, is giving you an opportunity um, to get in tuned with your with with joy, with passion, with your heart. But if you feel that you are so involved with family obligations and responsibilities and you don't say anything about it, I feel that your fire is going to be going to burn out. Like, not going to burn out, it's going to be, you know, um, it's going to die. Like it's going to, how do you say when the fire burns out? Is it burns out? Yes, burns out. So don't let that last spark. Like, you think about, I think about a fireplace when all the logs are gone. It's just a little spark there. It's still, see, you need to light that spark. Don't let that little last spark die. And you're gonna do it by saying, okay, this is what I need. This is what I want, and I'm sorry. You kind of have to put yourself first this time. Okay. Sun is in the 10th house. Uh, showcase you know Showcase yourself. This is where your path is. This is where you kind of, where you're going, right? Your midheaven. This is like, this is what you're destined to do. This is your life purpose. And if you are always there for others, you're never going to have time to do what you need to do. And so, open communication about the fifth house topics. Maybe it's about, maybe your children are also, feeling obligated towards your children. You're sacrificing for them for them to have a better life. You're not doing them a favor if you're doing everything for them. You need to teach them so they can be independent. And I just feel that you need to feed your fifth house. You need to think about how can you do your fifth house better. Fun, joy, pleasures, pleasure house. It's a, how can you be on stage? I know it's not directly connected, but it's your ruler, and I feel that it is. So to speak up within your family, maybe there is some kind of, you know things that are that you feel that you are torn apart, like Gemini. It's like always two sides. Oh, this side, that side. You feel like torn apart on different things, and you need to speak up and say, I cannot take it anymore if you can't. And because this also reflects on your work, right? So maybe you want to talk about where you're coming from, your family. Maybe you want to write it down. Maybe you want to say it. Maybe you agree with them, maybe you disagree with them. Whatever from the past. This is the fourth house of past, of history, of memories. Maybe you want to go down the memory lane and start thinking about, what do you want to share from your past to move forward. What is blocking you to move forward and to be in your heart and joy. And interestingly, did I pull Pisces for you, Pisces? How interesting. So you need to be you. This is just telling me that you need to be you, because you're like a sponge. You take other people's feelings, you take other people's stories, you take other people's environments. You're like a sponge, right? So you always think about others. And it's time to think about you. It's time. Look, She's rising above from past to the surface and showcasing herself. You know, it's time for you to show people who you are. And you can say it through all you can say it through art. You don't have to say it. You can just express yourself through art, through music, through dance, through painting, uh, poems, writing. Think about the fifth house through pottery, doing pottery. Um think about all the stuff that people do in creative world. Something that you're passionate about, something that you are coming from the heart, and say it out loud to the those people who you feel the most intimate with, in a sense, right? People who you grew up with, who raised you, people that are, maybe you want to break free from them to be who you are. Maybe you just say it, guys, thank you for everything, but I cannot do this anymore. I need to be me. It's time to say it. I said it. Good luck. um, Wow, I overdid it. 1 hour and 34 minutes. Okay, thank you everybody for being here, for listening. If you have any concerns or comments, please let me know. Of course, like, share, subscribe. It helps to share the world of astrology. I'm very grateful for every one of you. Thank you very much for being here. I'm sorry I wasn't here last month for the lunations. I had a personal situation with my dad. Thank God it's resolved. So I hope I'm gonna be more often here. Oh yeah, so if you wanna, I'm gonna have a special offer for my new newsletter subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet to my newsletter, please go to justminabrowserastrology.com, subscribe. I'm gonna send the newsletter today. For the special offer, and then my usual monthly forecast for December is going to go out tomorrow or on Monday. So tune in for that as well. On the other things that are happening, please check out my latest videos I had with Liz yesterday about the nodal shift to Aquarius and Leo. It's happening next year. We talked about it yesterday. It was really profound and insightful. There's a talk with Sam Reynolds about his journey to astrology. Very, very interesting story how he came from preaching to teaching, from preaching religion to teaching astrology. There's a video with Lori on angel perfections. I have something coming up very special next week. Terry and we're going to do a 2026 tarot and oracle and astro kind of a show for you guys. We're going to talk about 2026 for 12 signs, what is good, what is challenging, and we're going to pull some tarot cards and oracle cards for every sign. That's going to be next week. Also, if you are part of ISAR, International Society for Astrological Research, I'm going to be their panelist in February. So I'm going to be on a panel, and I'm going to have a talk in Croatian. So if you are interested in that as well, you can sign up for ISAR, or you can just check it out. That's going to be in February. Interesting guests also coming up in January. I'm not going to say everything, and I'm going to have another special edition with Hannah from Hannah's Elsewhere. We have this fun talks that we do. So another one is coming in a couple of weeks as well. Of course, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And yeah, if you want to book a reading, of course, I'm available. You can go to my website and check that out as well. I'm offering some new things. I'm offering astrocartography, local space, and electional astrology. If you want to elect if you have something important that is happening to you, I can elect a date for you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Fiz, I don't know how to say it. I'm not gonna mispronounce, but thank you, Fizz. I'm gonna call you Fizz. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate, and I hope it was helpful for everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Mercury is now direct, Saturn is now direct, and Venus is going into Sagittarius tomorrow. So enjoy it. It's gonna be more fun, more joyful.